Okay, so now let's look at the first question. The number 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9 were written in the squares of those cross. See the figures to the right, so that the sum of the numbers in the row is equal to the sum of the numbers in the column. So let's see, what does it mean? Well, we have one row, looking here, this is a row, and we have a column. So what we know here is if the three numbers in a row adding up together, it will be equal to what? It will be equal to the three numbers in the column here. So here we want to know which number was written in the central square, which is from the five-pointer question here, right? So let's look at this question. What did you see? Are you familiar with this figure? Yes, it looks like a cross, right? So if it is a cross, and if you observe the numbers here, let's see. We starting from the column, we have number 1, 2, 3. I don't know who are those numbers, but I know if I adding them together, 1 plus 2 plus 3, it will equal to what? Yes, it will equal to those numbers 4, 2, and 5, right? So it will equal to 4 plus 2 plus 5. So what did you see here? Well, if this equation need to stand, we have both on both sides, we have the 2, right? And beside the 2's, we have 1 and 3. They need to equal to what? Think about it. 1 and 3, they need to, when they add up together, they're gonna equals to 4 plus 5. So then we can write down this equation. 1 plus 3. Those two numbers, they're gonna equal to 4 plus 5, right? 4 plus 5. So we're gonna have to look for four numbers when they add up together, they're gonna equal to what? And we remember what previously we learned, we need to be balanced. That means we need to make a pair from the biggest number and the smaller number. So let's start from here. What we have here is 3, the smallest number, and the biggest number is 9. And when they add up together, it is what? It is 12. So can we find another two numbers that can also add up to 12? Yes, we have 5 and 7, right? So they can be 12. That will be the four numbers here. Do we have any other combinations? If you try, you will see actually there's none of the other combinations. So what number is missing here? We are missing of 8, right? So 8 will be the center number. Move on to the next question. In the table, the correct additions were performed in the squares according to the pattern shown. So what is the pattern? We have those numbers, right? And at the very corner, we have a plus sign and we have some numbers along the row and the column here. So what number should replace this question mark? Where's the question mark, everyone? It's here, right? So this number is missing, but if we find the pattern, we will be able to find out what will be the number here. So what is the pattern? As we mentioned before, we have what? We have a plus sign, right? So if it is a plus sign, then what do we have? Look, we need to figure out how do those numbers come from, right? For example, if it is 15, how does 15 come from? Look, we have 5 and 10. So those two numbers nearby adding up together is what? 15, right? Is this a pattern? I'm not sure. So I need to check all the other numbers. Let's check this number. It is 12, right? So 12, how does 12 come from? If I check the row, I have number 5. If I check the column, I have number 7. So 5 and 7, when they add up together, it is what? It is exactly 12, right? So it seems like the pattern is the number in the square comes from the number between, right? And they can add up together with a corner sign here. So can you guess if it is 14, how does 14 come from? If I check the column, it is 10. So what will be the missing number here? Exactly, I'm gonna use 10 minus, sorry, I'm gonna use 14 minus 10, right? All right, so if I use 14 minus 10, that will be 4 here. So we know the number is 4. All right, so if I know the 4, how about the number represented by the question mark? Yes, we just need to looking for. Here we have number 4, that is a number for the row, and I check the column, it is 7, so the number will be 4 plus 7, which will be 11 here. That will be the correct number. We place the signs plus, minus, and equal sign between the digits 4, 8, 3, 3, 6, 9 in such a way that an equality is made. The sequence of the signs is blah, blah, blah. So we can see actually this question comes from a very outdated math Kangaroo, but it is still very difficult. And we can see if we check the option here, we know we can only use one time of the plus, minus, and the equal sign. So if we can have only, everyone, look here. If I can only have one sign and each of them can only be used for one time, how many numbers will it be? We're gonna have one number, two number, three number, and four numbers, right? But here we have how many digits? We have 6 digits. So that means it is impossible to have each sign between each of the digits here. We must combine the digits, but I don't know how to combine them, right? So actually for this question, I need to use the way, that is to try all those options and to find out which one might be correct. So I will just do some examples here. For example, if we try option A and the sequence is plus, minus, and equal sign, right? And we know we must have 4 numbers here. So if I have 4, 8, 3, 3, 6, 9 here, you can just try. If I put the plus sign here, that will be 12. And if I do 12 minus 3, right? I cannot do minus 33. So minus 3, then the equal sign must be here. Does it make sense? No, not at all, right? So that means maybe I can put the plus sign here. But you can see if I have 48 plus 33, it is impossible to have the 69 here. So I can only plus 3. But if I minus 3, is it possible to have 69? No way, right? So if you just try all those methods, you will find out it is impossible. And if we try B, we still have 4, 8, 3, 3, 6, 9, right? So you're gonna just list it out. If I try minus, it can only put the minus sign here, right? But if you put a plus sign here, is it possible to equal to 9? No way, right? So you can only put the plus sign here. But does it make sense? Is it possible to make a 69? No way, right? So if you try all those sequence, you will say it is actually impossible to make. So if I try C, it is the same thing. You can see it is plus, plus, equal, right? So if you try, you will see there's no possibility to do that. But if we move on to the final option, let's try 4, 8, 3, 3, 6, 9, right? So it will be minus, equal, and plus. So you will see, what does it mean? It means a number minus another number equals to 2 numbers adding up together. Can we try that? Yes, right? If you really check those numbers, 48 minus 33 is 15, right? And you look, it is a combination of 6 plus 9. So that will be the only option to make this number stand as equality. So the right answer is E.